I think we're going live. We are live, Bubbles. We're live. Yeah. Hey, good morning, everyone. 5 a.m. Mester Scrum show. And should I disturb Bubbles? Yeah, I think she wants it. She's like looking at me. She's like, pat me. She's like, pat me. Anyway, Bubbles here. Hey, good morning. 5 a.m. Mester Scrum show. Hope you're doing well. What I talk about is listen to a podcast, the Ed Milet show, and he was interviewing Amy Porterfield, who's really big on social media and doing some work there. And they talked about uncomfortable. Being uncomfortable is a sign of growth. And I realized I said that's a lesson, another key about increasing velocity and your own personal growth. So I want to talk a little bit about that uncomfortable world and how that can help you. You know you're on the right track to grow your team's velocity. And it's not just about taking on more work and filling on more hours in the day to grow the velocity. It's also about doing things, and we're going to talk about that today. And it's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. Hope you're doing well. I did post up. The meetup is now officially on. I put on meetup.com, posted things in LinkedIn, all kinds of places like that. So if you see my post or looking for meetup.com, look up 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show or 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. We're doing our OKR session, and it'll be next weekend, 7 days. We'll be done 7 days from now, less than 7 days. Talk about uncomfortable. I'll give you that. That's uncomfortable for me. So we do this so we can bring value to the customer without working crazy hours and have a little fun along the way. Hope you get to do that. I'm going to put the banner up. Yesterday I did US. Today I'm going to do the EU jobs. So I'll post up EU jobs up there. There's a banner from Tuesday night show. So what are you talking about, Greg? What's this uncomfortable stuff? And it's funny. I just conversation about people being conflict adverse the other day, and then I'm like, cool, I'm going to go further. I'm going to go, let's be uncomfortable. Boy, isn't that great? But it's not about like sitting on attack. You know, I'm not talking about pain. I'm not talking about personal grief or anything like that. That's not what I'm talking about when I say uncomfortable. Uncomfortable is doing something that you've never done before, trying things that you've done it this way forever and you haven't done it. And I'll give you my thing for this show. I have changed things and done things that, yeah, I keep doing the same thing, but is that going to get me the growth that I desire for the show and share more people and help more people out? Because that's my ultimate goal, is to share with more people and help them. And no, if I would have done it the same way and I wouldn't get uncomfortable, let's try this new thing. Let's try that. Just like the meetup.com, find another avenue for people to engage and talk, because there's not enough of that. There's opportunities, and whenever, you never know when someone's available to do in these sessions. So why not have as many out there as possible, right? So, but what am I talking about? Personal, uncomfortable, making velocity better. So it's not about stuffing more stuff in the backlog during a sprint. And a lot of people say, we'll just do more work. Oh, we got a comment here. Mary's on growth edge. Mary says growth edge. There you go. Growth edge is good. You have to put some more thought comments in there about growth edge and what you mean by that. It's an interesting term, though. So on the uncomfortable part, when you're working, you got to give yourself space. Once you free up that space in your backlog, you're like, hey, we're just going to work on stuff that we can get done. Put some space in there to become uncomfortable. Yes, I'm saying take a couple stories, maybe not all your stories, maybe not all the work you're working on, but maybe one or two that you want to experiment and grow. Do you want to try a new programming language? Do you want to build a different way of connecting stuff together? Do you want to, and this is more of a technical stuff from our data programming, do you want to use database? Do you want to try some different variables? Build a new library that maybe you've never built a library before. And you say, well, let me try to build a library as part of the story. There you go. Mary adds some more stuff here. Moving from the known to the unknown. Yes, that is uncomfortable. Fear factor goes into that too, right? So, but that's how we grow. So think about it this way. maybe you heard of this thing called containers, right? You've never worked in them before. Why not go out during the sprint in the growth factor? I've never tried it before. Can we do it? Is it possible? That's your growth. It's something different. I'm used to just pushing the code and have to reset everything. Maybe this time we'll try containers. Those are uncomfortable being because it may not work. You don't know. What else I was thinking? Oh, let's say I'm a Scrum Master. Let's give it this one. I'm a Scrum Master. I've been doing Scrum for umpteen number of years. Never did Kanban. Never took a Kanban class. Why not take a Kanban class? My friend Jennifer Steelman, she's got a Kanban class, right? Why not go into that world? I'm not comfortable Kanban. Never did Kanban. Maybe you do extreme programming. I heard a lot about it, never done anything with it. Maybe you take some time, you read about extreme programming, share some information with your team, see if they're interested in trying it, or pair programming. These are all uncomfortable. I've always coded by myself. I never coded with the partner before. So maybe pair programming is very uncomfortable. It'd be very uncomfortable having two people sitting there watching you code, right? It's an uncomfortable feeling. But in the end, that'll get you the growth. You get quality better stuff. You interact with your partners better and your teammates. You don't have to do every story that way, but maybe you do one or two just to get that feeling, that uncomfortable feeling, just not to kill you, but to grow you, right? So that's something you think about. Think about that uncomfortable when you are feeling uncomfortable, it's a sign that you're on the right track to grow. This is how you're going to get the velocity changes, right? If you've done it the same way you always done, and it feels uncomfortable to try something new, or that thing you're trying is uncomfortable, maybe that's the right path. Maybe it's put in a position you're not right there for. So try talking to your teams about being uncomfortable, about growing. And one of the things I was thinking about this the other day, just when you do your retros, you talk about this stuff, have a conversation about it with your team, present the concept. You don't have to go right into it. Let's do it tomorrow, but gradually grow that as an idea of being in that realm. See if anybody on your team, ask your team, has anybody else on the team heard about this thing about being uncomfortable is a sign of growing, and get your teammates to show. Say, I read a book the other day. Okay, we got some things. Marcella, obstacle is the way. The obstacle is the way. Okay. What else you got? Get comfortable with discomfort. Yes, Marcella. Marcello. Yep. That is the way. Get uncomfortable. And you know what? The more times you do it, the more your team gets used to being uncomfortable and they actually crave it. that's an entrepreneurial thing when they crave that uncomfortable position in life. So that is something you may want to think about doing and sharing with with everyone, and getting into that uncomfortable. But how do you do it? You start asking them. You don't introduce it. This is one thing I talked about the other day when we talked about being a facilitator, being the one's buy-in, right? So don't do it with the buy-in where you say, "Hey, I think we all should be uncomfortable today." At all look at like you're insane. They will, right? But introduce and said, I read this article about being uncomfortable. There's a podcast, Ed Milet Show. And if they listen to Ed Milet Show and that one with Amy Porterfield in it, it's a very positive one. It's a long one, I'll tell you right now. But it's about social media marketing. How do you do all that stuff? So if you're in the marketing business, it's good to have. And she has a good podcast I just started listening to about online marketing. But just pose that idea and see if they thought about it. Let it grow. It may take a little while, but don't try to do the buy-in. Try to get them to say, yeah, you know what? I've heard of that. I've never done it. Is there something? And then you can pose the question. Is there something in the backlog for the sprint, right? That we can attempt or experiment with being uncomfortable that you all think, because you're the technical wizards. I'm not. I'm just the scrum master, though. I can't do it. But I'm just the scrum master. You're the technical wizards. And you say, okay, is there something, one of these things we want to try to be uncomfortable with? that you feel like this would be the place to try it or try something, whatever they want to try. And it's not our job to tell them what to try, right? So I wanted to share that with. Okay, here we go, Marcella. One more comment, and that anyone else feel that blah pass us by in this sprint? Didn't that feel not right? We are maybe too comfortable and the blahs are starting to creep in. Yeah, the blah blah blahs. Yes, yeah, Marcella, that's true. All sorts of questions. There you go. Okay. So I'm going to end it with the show today. Just wanted to offer that up as a thing. Don't forget, next Wednesday is our meetup for the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. We're going to talk OKRs, not getting couple, plan. I don't want to plan past tomorrow. God forbid I plan past tomorrow. So we're going to do some OKRs, talk about OKRs, and then I'm going to do a session of people actually doing their own personal OKRs. It's an experiment. We'll see how it goes. And it's the first one. Got a couple in the months forward. I'll post them up too. But I want to get more interactive, more people, try to get some stuff in advance where we get some. And I think there's a Zoom connection so you actually get to participate and try some things. Okay. With that, I say, have a great day, Bubbles. Hurry. She's already sleeping. Oh, God. I must have put her to sleep. Oh, well. Anyway, have a great day. Happy scrumming. See you tomorrow. And have fun. Bye.